This book is called Start to Finish From Pumpkin to Pie, and it's another one in that series that we've been reading. You know how we read From Milk to Ice Cream. So this one focuses on how pumpkins grow, and that's our focus for this week, is focusing on pumpkins. So we learned about how different farms produce different animals and fruits and vegetables. And last week we learned about orchards and apples. Pumpkins grow on a farm too. They don't grow on trees, they grow on vines. And so we're going to read a little bit about how you can get from a pumpkin to a pumpkin pie. And I love pumpkin pie. I don't know about you guys, but that's one of my favorite pies. So let's read on and find out how they get from a pumpkin to a pie. Here's the title page, Start to Finish, From Pumpkin to Pie. And here's that table of contents we talked about. It lists all the major categories and the pages you can find them on. So if I wanted to find where the gardeners plant them, I go to page 4, and so on. And here it starts. Pumpkin pie is my favorite. How is it made? First, gardeners plant pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin pie starts with pumpkin seeds. Gardeners choose seeds that will grow into small, sweet pumpkins. They plant the seeds early in the spring, and they make sure to place the seeds far enough apart because pumpkins need room to grow. And there are 3 pumpkin seeds there. The gardeners help the pumpkins grow. Pumpkin plants grow best in rich soil with lots of sunlight. Gardeners water them often, and soon leaves and vines cover the ground. In summer, golden flowers bloom along the vines, and each pollinated flower becomes a pumpkin. And we talked about pollination. That's when the bees go from flower to flower, sharing the pollen. Ripe pumpkins are harvested in the fall. Over time, pumpkins grow large, and their color changes from green to orange. Gardeners tap their pumpkins. If a pumpkin sounds hollow, it's ready to be cut from the vine. Next, the pumpkin is prepared for baking. In the kitchen, gardeners become bakers. They wash the pumpkin and cut it in half. Then they scoop out the seeds. Bakers cut the pumpkin into smaller pieces. Bakers cook the pumpkin meat. The pumpkin is baked in the oven or cooked on the stove. The pumpkin becomes soft and flavorful. It gets sweeter when you cook it. The pumpkin is mixed with other ingredients. Bakers mash the cooked pumpkin, then they mix it with eggs, spices, and other ingredients. It's starting to smell like pumpkin pie now. Bakers pour the mixture into a pie crust. Some bakers buy pie crusts from the store, and others make their own. They might pinch around the edges of the dough to give a crust a pretty pattern. Then they pour the pumpkin pie filling into the unbaked crust. Then they bake the pie. The pie is almost ready. Bakers make sure the oven is the right temperature. Then they bake the pie until the filling is firm. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Finally, the pie is done. The hardest part is waiting for the pie to cool. Then it's ready to eat. Some people top their pumpkin pie with whipped cream, while others love it plain. Enjoy your dessert. And on this last page is a glossary, and it focuses on some of the new words that we learned when we read this book. To bloom is to produce flowers. Harvested is when you gather something to eat. For hollow means it's empty inside. Patterns, well, you know what a pattern is. It's when you alternate or decorate something in a repeating pattern. Pollinated, you know all about that too. That's when bees or birds or butterflies bring pollen from one plant to another so that a fruit can grow. And vines are long plants that have really long stems that grow along the ground. The other side has further information. If you want to learn more about pumpkins, it's got some books and websites that people can go to learn more. So now I'd like you to go back to the seesaw activity. There's a couple things I want you to do.